Hey there, my friends. I'm just getting ready to podcast here. I don't need the headphones for this. Um, how's everybody doing? I thought I would do a video on an experience I had that just happened, and I love these kind of slice of life stories that I share with you. Had a busy day today. Chibongo, who is one of our two kids who stayed in California, we're hoping just for the time being. We hope that they migrate up here with us eventually, but if not, it's okay. But he's visiting for almost a week. Very excited to have him. So Gingy and I went to go get him at the airport while Sarah and the rest of the kids were getting the house ready and doing stuff around here. There's that dog up there. The chupacabra is out again. He only barks when the chupacabra is out. So busy day. Went to SeaTac to pick him up. Headed back to the sticks with him. And on the way back, we stopped in Gig Harbor, got some groceries. He wanted breakfast for dinner. We let him pick dinner tonight, so got all the stuff there. And Sarah let me know. I had no idea that today is National Root Beer Float Day. Every day they have something. So I can get into that. It's not like it's National Brussels Sprouts Day, where we force the kids to eat Brussels sprouts because it's Brussels Sprouts Day. Don't have to twist anybody's arm for a root beer float. Although Sarah's the only one with willpower that didn't have one. I wish I had that kind of willpower. So anyway, stopped to get the ice cream along the way, but I'd forgotten that we did. We didn't want to bring it all the way, 45-minute drive, because it might melt. So I get home, and I'm looking for my wallet, and I can't find it. And I'm panicking, because that sense of dread when you lose your wallet is unlike very many instances of that sense of dread. There's nothing quite as dreadful as losing your identity, essentially. It used to be back in the day, they're going to use my credit card, or back in the day, they'd take my cash when people had cash on them. I have maxed out credit cards and no cash, so they wouldn't get very far with mine. But just the whole idea of having to start over and maybe somebody using your identity and things like that, people are a-holes. So we looked in the car, we looked in my office, we looked everywhere. I couldn't find the damn wallet, so I tried to backtrack. I go, we used it at the grocery store. I had it at the grocery store. I couldn't have pulled the ATM card out without my wallet. But then Chibongo reminds me, wait a minute, we stopped at that store in Allen on the way home. Allen's a very small, cute town. Many of you are already familiar with it through my videos and podcasts. And I go, bingo, thank you. I look at my watch, and I know that it's 8 o'clock. When I'm looking at my watch, right at 8 o'clock, they close. So I called thinking I was going to get voicemail or just ring. The guy answers. I go, hey, I was just in there earlier. He goes, I got your wallet. I go, thank God. So I was thinking he would just hold it for me until morning. I mean, I 15, 20 minutes away. I don't need it tonight, although it would have been more reassuring to have it. But, I was expecting him to say, I'll hold it for you. It'll be your first thing in the morning. He said, come on down. I just closed. I'll wait for you in my truck. And I said, are you serious? Are you sure? And he goes, yeah, just come on down. So I got there like 18 minutes later, and the guy was in his truck just as he promised, and he had my wallet just as he promised, and there was nothing in it. He took everything. No, I'm just kidding. That would have been a funny punchline if he had stolen everything. Everything, I didn't look for that reason, but I was looking for some business cards that were in there, and I had like $10 in there, $5, not much of anything in there. Nothing missing. Not that I was checking, and not that he seemed the kind of guy that would do that anyway. But I want to do this video just to let you know there are still good people out there. I guarantee you it would have been hard to have that happen in Los Angeles or San Francisco or San Antonio maybe. It just doesn't happen very often. Certainly not in big cities, big towns. And the idea that somebody, can you imagine calling up a store? Let's say that it happened at a big box store or something, and they closed at 8 o'clock. They'd say, you're out of luck. Come back tomorrow. We'll save it for you in Lost and Found. And that would be the last you'd hear of them. For somebody to say, I'm going to wait in my truck, and I told them I was 15 minutes away. It actually took me a little longer. And I just think it's really special, and I don't think it's as common as it should be. I think it used to be common. My wife remembers, Sarah remembers Sebastopol, California, when it was like that. She spent time in San Francisco. She lived in San Francisco many years as I did. She was born and raised in, she spent her first years in San Francisco, then moved to Sebastopol. I never lived outside of San Francisco growing up, is what I'm trying to say. So I was in the concrete jungle. I was in the concrete jungle, and as nice as people were back in the 70s, a lot of them, nothing like that, man. Nobody was going to keep their store open for 20 minutes for me to get there just because I left my wallet and I screwed up. So it's kind of like we're in a time warp in a lot of ways. I feel like we're back in the 1950s or something, you know. So anyway, the kids are restless. I guess my dinner wasn't enough to fill them up, so they're in the kitchen ransacking the fridge. So I'll wrap this up anyway. But anyway, that's the story for today. There are still good people out there. We all knew that, but I wanted to share with you this example that not everyone's an a-hole. That guy easily could have just said, just come in tomorrow and whoever's here, I'll have it behind the counter, blah, blah, blah. For him to sit in his truck, and it was on the warmer side today too, even this evening. For him to sit in his truck waiting for me to get there, 18 minutes later, to hand me a wallet, shake my hand, and say, hey, man, I tried to catch you, but you were gone. And I still had like a California ID, so he was like, God, this guy's passing through. Hopefully he'll notice before he gets all the way back to California. That was his fear, is that I was just passing through. I mean, he looked at my ID and tried to see if there's any way of getting a hold of me and seeing if I was local or not. So anyway, so there's the story, and I appreciate it very much. And there you go. I'll talk to you real soon, my friends. Cheers.